In this video, we are going to talk about section 8.3, which is converting between American units and metric units for length. Okay, so you see this table I have here, which has listed a bunch of American units and their equivalent metric units. It can also be found on page 469 in your textbook. This is a good chart to have and refer to. It's going to be very important. We're going to use it a lot in this section. Okay. All right, 75 inches. We want to convert inches into meters. We're going to convert just like we did with our American units between units, but we are going to convert between American and metric now. So 75 inches. And I'm going to multiply that by a value of 1 that has inches in the denominator so I can cancel it, and hopefully meters in the numerator if there is one. So do you see one that has inches and meters? Well, right here, 39.370 inches is 1 meter. So 39.370 and is the same as 1 meter. So now I can go ahead and cancel my units of inches, and I'm going to multiply 75 times 1 and get 75, of course this is meters, over 39 times 0.370 times 1 is 39.370, and then go ahead and divide, and you will get 1.90500, so on and so forth. Go ahead and round that to 2 decimal places. 1.91. Okay, so 75 inches is 1.91 meters. All right, 24 kilometers, and we want to go to miles. I have 1 and 2 different ones that I can use to convert between miles and kilometers. I'm going to show you that either one will work. Okay, we're going to do it twice here. So I'm at kilometers, and again I need kilometers on the bottom and miles on the top. Okay, so let's use this first one. 1 mile, 1.609 kilometers. 1 mile, 1.609. So I go ahead and I cancel out my kilometers there. And what I get is 24 divided by, oops, there goes that silly pen again. Try it again. 24 divided by 1.609, and this is going to be my miles. And we get 14.916 miles. Okay. What I want to show you is that I can do the same if I take my 24 kilometers, and again I still want miles on top and kilometers on the bottom, but I'm going to use the second one here, which is 0.621 miles is 1 kilometer. And so then I just multiply my 24 times my 0.621, and if all works out right, I get 14.904. So they're off a little bit, right? These are approximations that we use in these tables up here. They're not exact. So these are off a little bit, but you know what? I would accept either one as the right answer. So if you put 14.92, I'm happy with that, or if you put 14.90, I'm happy with that. I would accept either of those answers. And I will do my best to work it out on my papers for the quizzes and for the tests so that you won't get marked down for either of those. You'll get them both counted right. Okay? Here we go. 37.3 yards, and we want to go to meters. Well, I have a conversion up here. 1 meter, 1.094 yards, or 1 yard is 0.914 meters. I don't really care which one you use, and we already recognize the fact that they may be off just slightly, but I'm fine with that. Okay, so I'm going to say 1 yard is 0.914 meters. I'm going to do it this way because then I don't actually have to divide. Maybe that's the shortcut, huh? So I'm going to take my 37.3 and multiply by my 0.914, and I get 34.0922, or 34.09 meters. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple more. Now remember, just like with converting in our between our American units, sometimes we had to use more than one step. You will have to sometimes use more than one step on these as well. Okay, so I have 172 centimeters, and I want to go to feet. Well, I don't have one that takes me from centimeters to feet. However, I have one that takes me from centimeters to inches, and then I can go from inches to feet, no problem. Okay, so when I'm looking at that top row of my table, I know that 1 inch is the same as 2.54 centimeters. Okay, and so that helps me cancel out my centimeters. And now I'm at inches, and I want to, of course, go from inches to feet. And I know that 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. We talked about that one a couple of videos ago. My inches now cancel, and I'm left with just feet. So I take my 172 times 1 times 1. That's 172. And I take 2.54 times 12. And when I multiply that, I get 30.48. And when I divide those two, I get 5.643. And so I'll go ahead and round this to 5.64 feet. Okay. Here I have 3.7 yards, and I want to convert to millimeters. Okay, well, let's see, what can we do? I can't go from yards to millimeters, but I can go from yards to meters. Okay, so let's start there. So yards to meters, I show in my table that 1 yard is the same as 0.914 meters. Now, of course, there are two conversions you could use for this one. You could also use the 1.094 yards is the same as 1 meter. Either way, I'm fine with that. And then I have to convert from meters to millimeters. So then I want you to think back. From meters to millimeters, I know that if I have my millimeters, how many millimeters? It's 1,000 millimeters is the same as 1 meter. And that is because if I'm at 1 meter, I go over 1, 2, 3 places. That's the same as 1,000 millimeters. Okay? So now we're at millimeters. So I take my 3.7 and I multiply by the 0.914, and then I multiply by 1,000. And in my denominators, I just have 1 all the way across. So I get 33,818. That's a lot of millimeters. Okay. And here's our last one. I have 17.4 miles, and I want to convert to meters. So think about how you might do this. I can go from miles to kilometers. Let's do that one first, okay? So here I have kilometers and miles, and according to my chart, 1.609 kilometers is the same as 1 mile, so that will help me out in canceling my miles. And then I need to go from kilometers to meters. So think about it, if you were way over there on the kilometers, how many spots do you have to go to get to meters? 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the right. So if I have 1 kilometer, it's the same as 1,000 meters in this case. So now my kilometers will cancel, and I'll be left with just meters. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply my 17.4 times 1.609 times 1,000. I'll give you a second to do that. And that's going to give me 27,996.6. And then of course the denominator is just 1. So this is 27,996.6 meters is the same as 17.4 miles. So that's how we convert back and forth between American and metric units. I encourage you to become really familiar with this table and use what we've learned in sections 8.1 and 8.2 to help you out. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. Good luck.